I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all. I'm blickety black, blacker than black, I'm blacker than black, yo, because I'm black and I'm back. Yo, I'm black and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all. Yeah. It's St. Louis.
Welcome to the A-Train Show. And now here's your host, the A-Train, Arlington Lane.
Yeah, true chatter. Yeah, I think it's time for more true chatter. Born every day, 100 new fake rappers.
Welcome to this edition of the A-Train Show, the A-Train Arlington Lane. Man, it's Thursday, and we're getting 2 weeks away from the from Wrestlemania, Saturday and Sunday on the 19th. And of course, the Final Four is here, ladies and gentlemen, especially on the women's and on the men's side. Let's get this bad boy rolling. There we go. There he is.
Let's go.
Boy, it's like it took a long time for him to get together. All right, he is in the house.
What's up, man?
How you doing, man?
Man, we good, brother. We good, man. One of them days, getting ready for Bible study, Thursday.
I know,
man.
yeah, you got it going down tonight. So
yeah.
So so today, y'all, we're gonna broadcast. We're gonna do something even different more today. We simulcasting on Twitter at XFan Show, and you can catch us on Twitch. We're currently on Twitch right now. So if you are locked in, you want to check out, have some fun, talk some wrestling and some sports with us, we are also featured there. Bam, right there. Twitch.com/XFan Show and Twitter.com/XFan Show. Boom. All right, so we kicking it in, and of course, you can always check us out on Facebook if you're there too. All right,
for sure.
So, as we're getting it in today, Final Four is set in on the women's side.
Yeah, man. Texas
And South Carolina.
South Carolina
Shirt. I'm rocking a Texas shirt.
Yeah.
I get to see Coach Sidney Carter one more time. One more time.
Yeah.
Come on. Wait, she got to be the most fashionable assistant coach on the planet right now. Like the most fashionable.
Yeah.
It's going to be one heck of a matchup, man. Then you
That
got
is.
on the other side later in the evening, you got UConn versus UCLA.
Ooh.
Both are trying to make a date for the national championship. Somebody's trying to stay in Tampa one more day, 2 more days, I guess it
Well,
is. Look at it.
Let's see.
Nice to see Texas and UConn, and then South Carolina and UConn. Listen, I'm putting UCLA out. Knowing UCLA, they bad themselves. I don't think we'll have a bad matchup for the national championship at all. I think a lot of people looking at that, they don't overlook it too much, man. South Carolina being national champs last year, Texas coming up through the ranks, and they're trying to make their way in. I think I wouldn't mind seeing upsets. Upsets are good for the game today.
No, I agree.
Yeah,
I definitely agree.
On the men's side, we got Florida and Auburn, which is going to guarantee an SEC team getting in. And then we got Duke and Houston.
Yes, sir.
I'm rocking with the Texas teams this weekend.
Ooh. That's going to be a big feat.
I'm telling you, man.
We can do it.
Duke, because I don't know if anybody can beat them, man. I don't think anybody can.
The Houston team looks amazing, though, man.
Tall task.
Yeah.
But I think it can be done. So I wanted to make sure I got them out the way because I know I'm looking forward to seeing LJ Cryer. LJ Cryer is now in his second final.
Oh,
and
yeah.
trying to win a second national championship with a second different team.
Wow.
He did it
Yeah,
for
man.
Baylor back in 21. And he has another opportunity to do it again for Houston. That'd be pretty good. And then, not to mention, y'all, check this out. I don't know what the good doctor looking at. I think he's checking, trying to make sure everything good on his end. But also, Kelvin Sampson is 2 wins away from 800. He wins tonight. That makes 799. If he wins Monday night, what better way to win a national championship to win your 800th game as a head coach?
Yeah.
In the national title.
Yeah, man.
So
it's gonna be really, really good. It's gonna be really good, man. This weekend. I mean, for the next 3 weeks, we're looking at some crazy turn of events.
Yes.
I mean, you talk about the Final Four. You got the regular season ending. You got the draft coming up.
Boy.
I mean, you know, we talking about Wrestlemania coming. Like, it's just a lot happening in the month of April. So
April and October has always been the greatest months of sports. Always been the greatest.
It's going to be really interesting, my brother, to see how this is gonna pan out. Because, man, like I said, it's everything. Like, it's everything in one swoop in 1 month. So we just got to keep our eyes and ears open, look and see what's going on.
Good. Googly moogly, that thing is Gucci. That's what I'm gonna say this time. I ain't gonna say no. I ain't gonna say that. But
yeah.
But
no, we in it.
It's great googly moogly, man. I cannot wait to see what's going to transpire within these next couple weeks. Like, folks, this is everything that you will want as a sports fan, and not to mention
big facts.
Wrestling fan. Speaking of which, on Tuesday, I got the honor and the chance to meet Big Bill from AEW.
Okay.
Yeah, Big Cass from WWE.
Yeah, Big Cass. Yeah.
Big Bill and AEW. He came into the gig. I'm like, and I looked at him.
That's what's up.
I had to really look at him briefly. I'm like, Big Cass? He laughed.
That happened to me when we went to I was with Jay, and he came in last year, and X-Pac was there. I was like, and I didn't even, I just looked at him like, what? And then he kind of gave me this little, a little head nod. So I ended up going to the restroom, in the middle to go kind of, take care of my business, clean my hands and stuff. Yeah, and he pops in there, and I said, what? He just laughed, man. We took pictures together, man. It was cool though. Like, it was really, really dope because he was like, man, I ain't think nobody would notice me. I was like, bro, I know who you are. I definitely know who you are.
That's one thing about when you meet people, you try your best not to get in their spaces and whatnot, because their head spaces is different. They want to take pictures. That's good. The problem with me, though, when I was talking with Big Cass, it was brief. It was a line of cars right behind.
Oh, yeah.
I had issues getting people out and whatnot. Because I work at a rental car place, right? I'm just going to be honest with everybody here. And a lot of times there will be celebrities that will come through, to grab rentals and go. I was like, so where y'all show this? He said, yeah, we in Peoria. So I'm like, I'm like, bro, that's 2.5 hours you got to drive to get out there from St. Louis to Peoria. And so he was like, he had brought Lexi with him, who's also part of AEW when they're married and stuff like that. Right. So, and I'm seeing the both of them in the car, and I'm like, I can't take a picture because I got this line. I don't want to hold anybody up. I was more worried about the customer than I was worried about him. So I'm like, I'm getting them together.
Customers gonna wait on this. I'm about to get this picture.
Nobody would believe it, right? Nobody would believe it.
Right. I'm about to get this picture.
I know what I saw. I saw Big Bill. He was picking up a nice vehicle too. That got him SUV to roll out in and stuff like that.
That's what's up, dude. That's
So,
what's up.
He came through and blessed his presence in the St. Louis and going in to do Dynamite and Collision, because they take Collision as well on for Saturday. So he did double duty. So yeah, that was cool to see. And I think I've got a chance to meet Mysterio. Mysterio was years ago.
Yeah.
I met Flair and AJ Styles. So when AJ was in TNA. And they was cool, man. Back when I was doing my radio days and whatnot, they were doing an event at the St. Louis at St. Louis University. They was doing an event there, and they were promoting it and stuff like that. Mysterio came in for Chamber in St. Louis, so that was pretty amazing to do that and to have him there, and he was doing his thing and talking and whatnot. I think I just lost Patsy. He just got froze up on me. It's okay though. We'll get him back. But yeah, those that are tuned in, like, who have you met, on the side, checking in with fans? Okay, I think I got him back now. All right. Yeah, froze up a little bit. But
yeah, I met I met quite a few people. Over the course of my history and time. I told you about my little stick with the Undertaker piece. I don't know if you remember, I was a younger cat, and he had just came out, and and my dad took me, and we at that time they didn't have the aisles that blocked off, so you could be right there at the wrestling. Mm-hmm. And they would automatically tell you, hey, please don't step in the aisle, and people kind of respected it. Nowadays they got to put the barriers up and got to have all the stuff up, but that was never like that when I was coming up. But anyway, he was coming down the aisle with Paul Bearer. Mm-hmm. And Paul Bearer is walking, he doing his little gimmick. That doggone Undertaker was walking past me, and I'm screaming, and I popped him on the back, like, hey, come on, Undertaker. One of them, I don't know what the heck happened, man. That dude stopped and turned his head real slow and rolled them eyes. I started crying. I was bawling. I was crying so hard. My daddy said, see, that's what you get messing with a dead man. It was funny, man, because that was my first encounter. Of course, I got a chance to meet other wrestlers. The Rock once. I got close enough to Stone Cold, just didn't get a chance to actually meet him face to face. Ran into Booker T, of course. Ran into Mark Henry in the airport. Mark Henry was coming through the airport. He was rushing, man. So it just so happened that he was going to the flight that was next to mine, and we chopped it up a little bit. So it was just just different people. You see them in passing. Most of the people that I run into are like NBA athletes. What's up, Roy? I usually run into like NBA superstars, like Vernon Maxwell. Like I ran into people that because that's been the biggest thing for me. So
shout out to Maxie though. Maxie is getting him a bag, and you getting him some time, man.
My guy. He used to be my guy though. He was my guy though.
I could listen to Vernon Maxwell talk basketball and crazy stuff.
Yeah, man, for sure.
His recent, I think he did it like a couple months ago at the All-Star game. He did the All the Smoke podcast, and now he's joined All the Smoke fam with that. So I was like, come on, Vernon, dude, because man, I done heard all the stories. I'd love to hear him again, especially him and his encounters with Hakeem and Kenny Smith and all that kind of good stuff, man. And I didn't realize, I thought he was a champ twice. He actually was just once.
Yeah, once. Yeah, just that one time.
He's the first champion. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's been all athletes for me. Like big on football and basketball. Like I always run into them in airports when I'm flying out of town. Oh, ran into Ric Flair once. I did. When we was in, I want to say we had a connecting flight in Atlanta, and he was flying Philly. I think they were going to Philly. And it's crazy because I just walked past him and everybody was going, woo. I was like, what they wooing for? Like, I'm thinking that it's on TV or something. And he's walking through. I'm going, yo, they're going Ric Flair. Like, they're going Ric Flair. Whoa. I'm jumping in the woo. Whoa. I'm tripping too. So, yeah, man, like you'll end up meeting those guys, moving because they be moving so much. And I think he was doing that to get to his private plane because they in Atlanta, with the airport being so big, they have the privacy part on one side, but the area we were going to, because we were going where our flight was heading, the terminal was closed, so they had to try to move us to the other side, and that's how we ended up running into them. So I think a lot of the celebrities and stuff was over on that side. You end up running into like rappers and, man, I mean, just about everybody on that side, especially in Atlanta.
And that's the thing, when you doing stuff like that, and, you just be connecting, you just happen to see somebody. It's like that when I'm at a rental car place and seeing these different people just happen to pop up, on you don't know. Meeting a guy and I'm just stepping aside, Sean Spicer, part of the Trump administration, and then having guys like Chris Connolly, who's a journalist, meeting Todd McShay when he was working at ESPN, Steve Weish at the NFL Network, and they just coming through, and they all doing these different things, and it's cool. Chauncey Billups, I got a chance to holler at a little bit, and you get to when you do get time, and you get to speak to them a little bit, and you seeing like what's going on with them, and and they're willing to open up and whatnot. It's like one of the coolest things. And you might have the smallest encounter, or you may have the longest encounter.
Man, that's facts. Yeah, I jumped on the back of Teresa Witherspoon. So just so you'll know, I had the privilege of jumping on the back of Teresa Witherspoon. And so that was really, really dope.
She that strong was she at?
She that strong, Rev. She that strong that she hear me. And she's short, but she's strong. So she held me up. She held me up. I was looking for Nikki McCrary. She was one of my all-time favorite female. Her and Candace Parker was like, head over heels. Like those are my girls, And so, Nikki McCrary.
That was those athletes even back then. When the WNBA first started and whatnot, Cynthia Cooper when I was in college and A&M, she at the time was coaching. I think it was Prairie View A&M. So she was doing her thing up in Texas and whatnot. And I remember, after the game, during the game, she was sitting there stomping on her. Mind you, she got these heels on and she's stomping loud, and she's going after her players. Man, it was just bananas. And it was just seeing her out there in a different space, coaching. Granted, she's a legend in basketball and stuff, and just seeing her in that space was actually very interesting to check out. And she did an amazing job, even in that game. So, but got a chance to meet her afterwards and stuff. You get a chance to meet legends like that. It's amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's really get into the deep side of things, moving back over to meet celebrities to now got some new champs in the mix.
New champs.
One being Ricky Saints for I almost said it, for NXT. Listen, I want y'all to understand that Tony has fumbled bags, but also Hunter has fumbled bags. But where they've placed them is phenomenal. Ethan Page coming in, Sean Spears or Ty Dillinger, however you want to refer to him as.
Yeah.
And Ricky Saints coming back, because this ain't his first rodeo.
We discovered that.
Right. We discovered that this ain't his first rodeo.
Right.
And they're getting their name called to do big
Boost
things.
the company again. Boost the company again.
And they start seeing what was going on in AEW and knowing that it's not as hidden as much. Don't get me wrong. AEW is doing what they can. They're trying to focus more on the wrestling side than the storyline side, knowing that you got to focus on the storyline.
Yeah.
With the wrestling. I understand you're trying to dare to be different. And they're going to have their fan base and stuff like that. But it's just like they were expecting more and they didn't get it. However, you're getting it here in WWE. You know, I don't know. At this point, I think they're doing a phenomenal job in WWE.
I do too. I love what is going on right now. I think with the with NXT, again, man, I just wish they would stop making them a developmental brand and just go ahead and brand them. Like, I really wish they would do that. You give more opportunity.
Especially when you got Evolve and this LFG thing.
That's my point. Like I'm saying, why not just use them as a separate? You got the red brand, you got the blue brand, you got the black and gold brand, right? But that's my point. Why not just brand them on their own? NXT has its own fan base anyway.
You would almost have to change the name. You would almost have to change it for it to
why
be branded.
But why?
NXT is labeled, and I get where you're coming from. NXT is labeled as next man up for the main roster. And almost was like saying, if that's the case, you gotta switch that name up, man. Or
I can see that.
NXT all have to be one group. You get what I'm saying?
I get that. So now what you basically saying, we got 3 developmental factions or groups.
I hate it.
Yeah, it's almost kind of like, what are we doing? Like, I mean, I understand, but you offer more championships. We need to equalize the championships on the men and the women's side. There need to be the same equal amount of championships on both sides. I think if you're gonna have US, you're gonna have the Intercontinental, you're gonna have all of these titles. They need to be equalized. The women's championships, so all of the I think if we equalize all the championships, it gives more women an opportunity to build their repertoire and give them more reps for the main roster. If we're going to keep NXT, if we're going to keep NXT separate from being a main roster or having a main brand, it's just a lot of things I think I would do a little different, especially with LFG and with Evolve. I think it's just so many other things that NXT brings to the table that SmackDown and Raw don't. So, equalizing the belts probably would help, or either just making NXT its own brand and making them a main roster brand without having to move, all of those from NXT, because not everybody qualifies for main roster. So that's what I'm saying. Instead of having them move up, make their brand a main brand just like the others, and infuse them into WrestleMania, into other pay-per-views or PLEs rather, and make them work like that. This is my opinion.
And you know what? And to that point, I'm looking at it. It's like, you have a development brand and you have a development brand to the development brand.
Right. That's my point.
Like, why? Because when you look at LFG, and I posted the clip Tuesday in which WWE and said, I'm flagging you for it. And that's fine. Okay, you can flag me for it, but it had to be shown because it made a lot of sense. And I told you, and that clip is now magnified.
Viral. Yeah, it's viral. Yep.
And so it was from Tyra May Steele, and she cut a nice promo on Bubba Ray. She cut a nice promo. And I'm sitting there and I was like, and I told you, I said, man, he said that to get her. When he did that confessional, she cut her promo right there.
Yeah.
I said, that is what Gunther, because Gunther was on that episode, and Bubba Ray was trying to get you to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
They want to see a different side because everybody can't be, because Bayley herself, Bayley is a good example. AJ Lee is another example. Nice girls, Tiffany Stratton is another. Nice girls, they're going to have to turn bad at some point.
Yeah.
And she put the realism with, it was almost like it felt real, and it could have been, you know what I mean? The work in it could have been a straight shoot. It could have been a work.
Yeah. Yeah. I
think where we're getting at is she was trying to be really real. Maybe that's just me. It's me. She was being real about it. And she was using, because I think everything these days is nothing but a storyline at this point. everything nothing but a storyline.
No, I agree. I totally agree with that. But I think
the world right now is a storyline. I don't care.
But see, I think my thing over this though, and I think that's kind of what magnifies my point. Let's just go back over the last year. What NXT superstar that's on the main roster is somebody that looks like they got promoted and is working out? It's only one. No.
From last year to now.
Think about Think about all of the superstars that was on NXT that got moved up to the main roster, and look at what they did in NXT, and then look at what they're doing right now, and find one. I just need you to find one that we can literally say, okay, they came in and they're making a big statement in on the main roster, or they have made them.
Male or female?
Female. It's only one. It's only one that did it.
Really?
Only one. That if you think about when they left NXT, they got on the main roster and they ended up becoming a champion. It's only one.
Lila Valkyria.
Lila Valkyria.
That's the only one. Right.
So what's the point of bringing them up?
Yeah.
What's the point of bringing them up if you're not going to infuse them in some type of storyline that's going to help them continue to develop? The problem is one or two things. I think some of the older ones are not making room for them to win championships. You got to think about it. Over the last few years, on the women's side, how many champions have we had on the women's side, and how many of them were new? Think about it. It's only been cycled between. It's only been cycled between Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Bayley, and Bianca Belair. It's only been cycled. That title has been cycled between and Rhea Ripley, and really Rhea hadn't held it as long as the others, because remember, accident, injury, the belt got stripped at one point. I guess whatever happened to her
with her injury, yeah.
You know, so you got to consider she ain't really just held the belt, and then she lost it again. You know, we talking about trying to correct wrongs, but why bring them up if we're not going to utilize them for the next to kind of promote the next? That's one of the reasons why I kind of agree with you.
It's a slow movement, you know what I mean?
Like Carmelo,
like why he isn't in the U.S. title. They're waiting. They're really waiting for him. No. And what I mean by that, no, I'm not meaning it's a him problem. It's these other superstars. And then you got to remember, breakout stars come in and steal spotlights. Case in point, Jacob Fatu. Why is Jacob Fatu has risen so high?
Yeah.
And he's now in the U.S. title picture. When we was looking at Carmelo Hayes, like, why isn't he in the U.S. title picture?
I agree.
And that happens. That happens often. And so even with
leave him in NXT. Let him keep fighting. Man, you talking about he was fighting for the European, for the North American title. He was fighting for the main title, the NXT title. So he held those titles for lengthy periods of time. And his storyline with Trick Williams was starting to become something. And then even with him and Wesley, we could have did something with that. Him and Obafemi, we could have did something with that. Like it could have been something ongoing that would have kept Carmelo Hayes developing until main roster, till it's time to kind of start passing him the belt. So I can understand a Braun Breaker going up. Because Braun Breaker immediately went up and got a title. Immediately. It's almost kind of like we knew that was going to happen. And then him breaking through people, and then on top of that, they snatch it from him. Give it to somebody else out of fanship. But then while you're giving it back to him, he's about to lose it again. So it's like, what are we doing? Like we don't give the litany of growth forward.
If you don't think they don't listen to the fans, they listen to fans all the time.
Yeah, they listen. Oh, they definitely listen.
They listen. And right now, it made sense. As much as we wanted to see Jey Uso with a title, they wanted to see what that looked like. Okay, and when he was an IC champ, had singles.
I get that.
And then now people are sitting there, it's like, I'm worried about what he's gonna look like if he does get the gold, the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not even worried about Jay. I'm worried about Gunther. That's what I'm worried about. Because
now you see my plight when I talked about Naomi. Now you see what I'm talking about. Because without Naomi being in the storyline, what do you do with her? What are you gonna do with her? She's in this storyline for a purpose. So if, quote unquote, Bianca wins this title and Jay don't immediately go after her, that makes sense for Naomi to be the next one to go after this belt. Does it make sense? But
I see you coming from with that, yeah. And so
that's my point. With same thing with Gunther. If Gunther loses this belt,
he'll get a rematch, of course.
What do you freaking do with him, though? What do you do? Who you put him up against now? And what is he fighting there for? I think they gave him the title too early. I think they gave it to him too early.
That's how I felt. That's how I felt about Bianca Belair. I really. Yes, she did not need it that early because she never won the NXT Women's Championship.
I agree.
Never held the strap. And the time that she held the strap, and this is why I said that Hunter Fumble was with Shayna Baszler, because at the time Baszler had NXT Women's title, and there was no way Bianca was going to beat a Shayna Baszler.
No, I agree. I totally agree with that. I think she deserved it though. But I think she did. See, that's a whole nother. Again, we talking about missing these moments. You bring Shayna Baszler up there for her to do what? Be in this doggone faction to do what? Like, it's almost kind of like you took this dominant superstar, you tag her with Ronda Rousey, who is Ronda Rousey to me. She needed to stay in UFC, and after getting beat down in UFC, she lost all her momentum. She just didn't have it. And then coming to find out she was having concussions, which is why the incident. I watched Dark Side of the Cage, and Dark Side of the Cage kind of explained her stint in WWE it kind of explained that she had been dealing with concussions for the longest. So her being off in the ring was a result of possibly getting hit and trying to figure out what's next. That's why she always looked confused. So that makes sense now. Because I thought she was just lousy. I'm like, well, what was the point of having her in the doggone? We made this big old stink, gave her the belt, and then nothing. Like it's almost kind of like it came and it went. But that should have been Shayna Baszler. But we teamed her up with Ronda Rousey. We then put her with Zoe Stark. We then put her in this faction, and she's just basically sitting there. We talking about the Queen of Spades. We talking about the one who goes in and was breaking people up. Like that stuff was major, what she did in NXT. But then you get her to the main roster and you kill her to give the belt to Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair. Like what? It just don't make sense to me.
You gave the belt to Nikki Cross before you gave the belt to Shayna Baszler.
Bruh, I'm telling you.
Listen, Nikki, we wanted to see her with the belt, but it was like you passed over Shayna. What? Because Shayna wasn't as good on the mic as the others. I'm like, Nikki Cross wasn't good on the mic. Nikki was considered crazy. She had to turn into a superhero for her to win.
Right.
Why
they had to give her a gimmick.
Why hasn't Chad Gable had the strap yet? Like, what are you doing with him? I understand this story that he's doing right now, this little El Generico Americano kind of thing he's doing with this. Okay, cool, whatever. I'm like, you missed out, and I get it. I think it was Gunther that kept him from getting it.
And he should have won the strap out. That's why I said we gave it to Gunther too fast. We should have went to Chad already. You let Chad win it. Let Chad hold it for a bit. And then because Chad feels like he's the alpha, remember he built an alpha academy to build up people in wrestling. You got to think about that. He started the Alpha Academy for that reason. I'm trying to help build people to wrestle. You could have had him then bout against Gunther and let Gunther take it off of him. Why? Because Gunther is quote unquote considered to be the ring general. So like I think the storyline got twisted. I think I don't know. It'd be a lot. Like even with the Street Profits, them winning the belts now don't have the same value as when they were the hype. Yeah, man.
If they would have wanted that Mania, I think it would have been a lot more prolific. But at the same time, them winning it overseas, it still holds some weight. I'm not going to sit there and diminish the entire thing. Listen, I understand it, but then
it just don't give value though.
Well, see, here's the thing: we've been wanting for so long. We've been wanting shows to have champions change hands on shows.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And it's like the timing of everything just seemed like it's just completely off. But here we are. We've been sitting here, we're sitting here saying we want to see it on shows. But it's like, dang, can we get it on a different show or something close to that?
Well, just period though.
You could have did it the Friday before Mania or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I mean, I like the fact that it's happening. I just hate the fact that it's so delayed. Like certain superstars don't deserve. Like I understand them building up Tiffany Stratton. I get it, and I was gunning for her to finally win it. My problem though is that who is she fighting now? We ain't talking about somebody that's up and coming. We ain't talking about somebody that just previously had the belt. She fighting Charlotte Flair, and the greatest woman of all time of our era.
I don't think Charlotte's going to win.
No, she's not.
Why? Because she's going to put her over. She's going to put Tiffany over.
Absolutely. It's passing the torch. My thing though, and I think that's one of the reasons why you do keep the older generation or the older wrestlers around is to help them get over the other superstars, even in wins or losses. I noticed that in a documentary about Mick Foley dealing with dark side of the ring. I've been watching all of them. Watching Dark Side of the Ring, they were talking about Hell in the Cell and how Vince didn't want Mick Foley at all. He said, "Man, nah, what are we gonna do with him? There's nothing we could do with him." And if it wasn't for Jim Ross, who said, "Let's put a mask on his face and give him another image and see how that worked." And one of the first people that Mick Foley comes out as Mankind, as he comes out to wrestle, is the freaking Undertaker. So what do you get? A great Hell in the Cell. Two of them, as a matter of fact. The Undertaker with a broke ankle, wrestling Mick Foley, who gets thrown off of his cell onto an announce table, who gets up off of a gurney, walks back down there with a dislocated shoulder, climbs back to the top, gets slammed through the top of the cell where the chair that was up there hits him in the mouth, breaks his teeth. He then gets smashed on thumbtacks. All of this is in one doggone match. And this is what puts Mick Foley over to Vincent Kennedy McMahon. I'm going, he had to go through all of that just to get over. And it was to get, even though The Undertaker had already become the phenom already, it was to help boost the ratings of The Undertaker's stock in WWE based upon Stone Cold, Triple H already coming in and taking over the whole entire, and The Rock taking over the whole entire system. So this was to raise The Undertaker's stock. So then when we get to Mania, he don't lose a match. And then, of course, we know what happened after.
All right, so we saw the Attitude Era. We both got an opportunity to see what that was like in the envelopes that's being pressed. How do you feel about Raw on Netflix right now?
I love it.
You like?
No, I love it. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Like,
I love.
Are we getting like a Attitude Era mix? Are we getting more?
Absolutely.
Like, because I've been trying to figure this out.
I think it's for the content, though. It might be just for the content, because you got to remember, this is more global. Now, even though I'm not saying that WWE wasn't, you got to remember with the WWE network, unless you subscribe to the network, you can't see it. If you got everybody on doggone YouTube, my child, who is 8 years old, has a YouTube because she watches her little shows and things, and of course they got YouTube Kids and all this, and you know her YouTube is monitored, so don't think we don't pay attention.
Trust me, man, I know you've been on her like right on right.
Right, yeah. I mean, she's monitored, believe me. But my point for saying that is that she has it, and so you got to consider, would I run the risk of having YouTube and WWE Network, or do I have one main place and then I have more content? People can watch everywhere at any time. You know, you get the notification when that Joker come on. It prepared and then on top of that, it connects you to other for instance with the Kevin Owens piece. When Kevin Owens was doing his little private thing, the network itself connected us to that. Like, it was like, yo, oh, did you see this? Because I would have never saw it just going on the WWE network. Seeing this over here now makes it more clear. So I think it gives a better footwork to get more people involved. And it works well for me.
I can't wait for the day WrestleMania go to Netflix, boy. I cannot wait for the day. You know it's coming. And you know it's coming.
Oh, yeah. Man. Yeah. Yeah. So, and then you got to think about it. We went from the WWE Network to Peacock. Now Peacock to Netflix. And although we still got Peacock, you know.
The WWE Network was not bad.
It wasn't.
It made me, but they kept having, the issue was their bandwidth and all that. they was having so many issues.
Yeah. They needed something else to carry it though. They just needed another outlet to carry it.
I didn't need that. Like when I say Vince had that vision down pat, he had it. It's just there was a bandwidth problem because everybody kept crashing it. Because I remember 30 because we had 41 now.
Yeah.
30. I was watching it on my PlayStation. My PlayStation 3. You know, you can get the WWE network on the PlayStation. So we trying to fool with the internet on it. And boy, we was having such a hard time catching their events. Like we had seriously that day we paid for internet just to get WWE.
Bro, I remember when it was pay-per-view. When you had to pay every single pay-per-view that came out, you had to pay for it. But man, when he did the WWE Network, I was like, yo, this is perfect for me. I ain't got to pay that. What was it, $69.99? Then it went to $89.99. I'm like, I ain't got to pay that every pay-per-view. And I'm going, yo, this works out well because with this $9.99 subscription, it just helped. So Arlington is the only one you see Darius Tate Carson.
Hey, listen, I catch y'all on Wednesdays, man. Y'all be cutting up. Y'all straight cut up.
Darius need to be out there working, putting dead bodies in the ground. Yeah.
No comment. I ain't got nothing to say about that. Good Lord. He just really threw his business out there.
Yeah, what
are y'all doing today?
He's the last person. He's the last person that's gonna let him down.
I am, thank you.
He's the last person letting people down. He's the last person letting people down. Tell him, Clark. Don't come here with that foolishness. This is not Wednesday, 12 noon. Where's the well?
Hey, Thursday, 12, man. Listen. Look, he's supposed to do my job very well, mind you.
You probably do. You had the residue on you when you came to
Man, I ain't trying to choke today, boy.
You had the residue all over you, Red. We saw
instead of bringing them to church with them.
They don't need to come. No, they already gone to glory. Let them go ahead, Rem. Let them rest in pieces.
Hallelujah. Listen, let me tell y'all something. All right, Mania. This is what we have. I'm getting away from them.
Oh, I can't take that dude. Oh my God.
This is what we have so far. Mania. I wanted to build it before we left. These are the announced matches, and this is what it's looking like so far. All right. So this is
all right. Let's go.
Night 1. Jey Uso versus Gunther. Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton. This is planned.
Tell me that. Okay. This ain't Jesus. Planned. If this how we gonna start, I'm gonna be late because we got the cantata. I'm probably gonna be watching it in the back while Jesus is coming off the cross.
Wait a minute. It's Easter weekend, ain't it? Lord,
it is. It is. That's what I'm telling you. We got the big play. I'm gonna be watching it in the office. I'm gonna be watching it in the office. Why these people up there shouting and stuff? I'm gonna be watching it in the office.
What are you doing, bro? Paul, what is you doing? What are you doing on Easter weekend? Weekend.
All right, so we got Gunther and Jay. We got Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. That's all on Friday. I mean on Saturday.
This is Saturday.
Yeah. Okay.
Charlotte versus Tiffany Stratton, and the closeout, Seth Rollins versus Punk. Huh? I can't with this boy.
I told you. Yeah, that's what the boys gonna talk about. Boy, you supposed to be dying. You can't die and watch.
He gonna be laughing.
He's supposed to be up there dying on the cross. He ain't gonna be sitting up there talking about because yeah.
So I just found out who played Jesus. Oh, okay. All right.
No, not him. He ain't playing Jesus.
Oh, he playing. No,
he
ain't
playing one of the thieves. He one of the thieves. He keeps stealing stuff. He keeps stealing stuff.
Hang, little boy. Hang, okay. All right. Anyway, Seth Rollins versus Roman versus CM Punk. That is the main event.
We still got two more matches to add to that.
So I guess we waiting on them to announce that Rhea is now part of this triple threat match, which kind of knew it was going to be anyway.
Right.
The way that they building it.
What about Solo and Jacob Fatu?
Huh?
What about Solo and Jacob Fatu?
That hasn't been announced. I don't even think that's going to happen.
Why? We'll see it. We'll see tomorrow. Watch.
Okay. Let's see AJ versus Logan Paul, Cody versus.
That's Sunday.
That's what I'm looking for.
That's Sunday.
That one on Sunday. That's what I'm looking for. We're gonna build the rest.
So what's Sunday?
Sunday's Bianca Belair, Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, AJ versus Logan Paul, and right now Cody versus John Cena.
Okay. So that particular one still needs 3 more matches. The other one needs 2.
Actually,
you can one more.
So we're gonna do 12.
We don't have no woman match on Saturday. What woman match?
You got Charlotte versus Tiffany.
Oh, that's right. What about Liv and Raquel? Are they putting up their titles?
Probably. If not, then they're gonna put it up on Monday. They always do Raw after Monday, the Raw after Mania.
Oh Lord, what is happening right now?
But then again, they got something going down. I want to say, don't they got a match this Monday coming up?
Yeah, they got one this Monday. Yep, they got one this Monday. Wait, so that means we don't get no other title match?
That's just so far. That's
what I'm saying. So we gonna do 12. It's got to be at least 12.
We'll build on it. Let's build on it.
Remember, Mania is usually 3-4 hours. It's 4 hours usually
each day.
So my point,
we on a 2-day trip now.
Exactly, and then you got, mind you, we got Stand and Deliver too. So
Jay versus Naomi is a definite. If that ain't on the card,
it's gonna be on the card. That's gonna be on the card.
I'm going to Connecticut, and
tomorrow going to solidify that. That's gonna be on the card. But I think Solo and Jacob Fatu gonna be on the card too. Watch. You got to think about it. Look at what's been building.
And who gonna be in their corners?
Look at what's been building. Remember who? Watch now. I'm gonna throw this out real quick. You remember when Solo was losing? What did Jacob and Tama Tonga was doing? What was they doing? Remember that? They was trying to help. When Solo finally lost the Ulafala, Jacob Fatu said, I'm on my own. I'm finna go on and go. We were about to do this thing. And he started bouncing with Tama Tonga. He was with Tama Tonga at first. Where is Tama Tonga been? With Solo. If you paid attention to what just happened Friday, he was with Solo. And when they came to come talk to Jacob, he looked at Tama like, yeah, you know what it is. And Solo, we gonna come back to this. There's going to be beef between them. Now, what is that beef going to entail? I have no idea. And it may deal with the fact that Jacob feels like he's better than Solo because Solo lost the doggone Ulafala. He has no control over himself or over the family. You lost the family bloodline stuff. I'm going to go get titles for us. Remember, that was the stick, is I'm going to go get this title for us. So I think if Jacob is not placed in this title, in the title run with Braun Breaker, not Braun Breaker. LA Knight. If he's not put in there with LA Knight, there's going to be a Solo versus Jacob Fatu. Just because And if by chance what happens tomorrow, if somehow Jacob gets into a battle with somebody and then anybody, and then Solo interferes and it costs him, it's gonna be a battle between them two. Watch that team. This has gotta happen. It's gonna happen because remember this whole time, I love you so long.
We've been saying this. We've been saying this. This joke for the end. This joke for the end.
And remember when Solo came back, he kept saying, I love you, Jacob. I love you, Jacob. And then he all of a sudden stopped saying it. And then Tamatonga is over there with Solo. Like this stuff it's like it's brewing, but of course we ain't paying attention to it because we got our eyes on Cody. We got our eyes on Roman Reigns. We got our eyes on Jade and Naomi. So we not paying attention to this. But that Jacob Fatu is about to be a big deal because I think he's gonna snatch that title off LA Knight, and then we gonna have this big old to do with Solo.
Because Jacob gonna have a belt before Solo, and Solo ain't gonna be too thrilled about that. Mark it. Checkmate. I agree. Your girl is now putting herself in the picture for what championship? I tell you, the championship that I told you that she should be going for.
I don't care. I don't care which one you give her. Give her something. Her name is Jada Parker. You got to give her something. Now she deserves it, man.
I hate that it's gonna be a ladder match for it. Is it? I think.
Yeah, I think it is.
Oh.
Put my girl in the match. Give her the championship. Let it be done.
I see. Watch. Stand and Deliver. Jordan Grace versus Jada Parker is going down, but no title. No title.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. You finna put my girl's name on a belt. That's what you're gonna do. We're gonna put Jada Parker on a belt somewhere. They already bypassed one. They can't bypass this one. They messed up. They messed up Last Legend altogether because that girl was.
They getting her back.
Bro. They were supposed to give Lash a title already.
But see, that's the thing.
They bypassed her.
Look, that's the thing, sir. You doing the same thing like you saying with Bianca Belair. It's too quick.
Give her a title. All I'm saying is,
I know that's Roy's favorite. I know that's Roy's favorite.
It is. It's Jared too. Jared is a Lash Legend.
He's saying they messed up Lola Vice.
Heck no. Heck no. No, they didn't. They did great with Lola Vice. Let me tell you why. Because they did that underground, and she's won 3 times in the underground. She's undefeated in those underground matches. Remember when she first came out, that's what they called her, the underground champion. So you got to consider the fact that they doing right by her by not giving her a title yet. She will deserve it, but I don't think they need to give it to her just yet because her thing is an underground fighter. She's an underground fighter. Let her keep on fighting these underground matches. Let her keep on dominating the underground. She's gonna build a record, and then that's a title on its own. You have a record.
All right, so I'm guessing. So far, right now, for Stand and Deliver, Stephanie Bakir, she's relinquished the Women's North American Championship. So we trying to find who her fighter is for the women's the ladder match. We got Zarya, Kalani Jordan, and we got 4 more people we got to get. So I'm guessing
Jada Parker.
And man, don't push up Jordan Grace. Don't push off Jordan Grace, yo. She even said on social media, she said, y'all made me show too much of my strength. Hey, that was kind of funny though, how they let her do old boy like that.
Oh yeah, that is true.
Looking like Jazz getting thrown out of the Banks house.
Yeah, right. So we got Ricky Saints as new champ.
And I think he's gonna get Ethan Page, which would be
okay.
That'll be good.
I can. So Lyra, I mean, I was about to call that woman Lyra Valkyria.
She and Bailey Monday.
Stephanie Valkyria relinquished
I don't know her opponent yet.
But she relinquished the North American
Championship, yeah.
Right. And so for now, right now, I think it's only 3 of them that's chosen to be in that match, right? Kalani, Jordan, ain't Jada Parker, right?
Zaria.
Yeah. So but I thought Jada, she put her name in it.
She just put her name, but she ain't in it. She's not in it yet. She got to get in.
Oh no, they gonna put her in there. No, you gotta give my girl some.
Right. And then, not to mention, we got Obafemi, Javon Evans, Trick Williams for the NXT Championship. Listen, now look, y'all. Nick Rowe's been complaining. Y'all been complaining that these folks ain't been getting no shine on PLEs. They closing out stand and deliver. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it, sir.
Who would you choose in that match?
Obafemi. Come on, man.
They're gonna keep Oba with the belt.
Absolutely.
Versus giving it to Javon.
That's the surprise, though. If they chose Javon to take it, that means if that happens, Obafemi showing up Monday.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Rematch, and it's going to be a rematch.
Absolutely not. He's going in.
Oh, you talking about Monday Raw?
Monday Night Raw.
Oh,
coming for Gunther. Give me that. Give me Gunther. Yes. That keeps Gunther relevant. Yeah. Oh, you think you're the big man?
Even after Gunther would lose the belt, because I'm quite sure
I'm beating him down some more.
You call yourself the rule general, but I'm the ruler. I'm the ruler. Yeah, yep. I got it. I don't think I would let him lose the belt then, if that be the case.
Not after you done built up Jey Uso this big, yo. No. No.
I don't know, man. It's just so many. It's so many problems.
He could pop up on Jey Uso too now. But if me, I'm going after Gunther. I would cost Gunther at Backlash.
Oh, that would be.
I would cost Gunther at Backlash.
Oh, now see, now that makes sense. Now that would make sense. I would let Jay go on and win it, and then Gunther ask for a rematch, and that rematch will be scheduled for Backlash. And after Backlash,
in St. Louis, and Obafemi show up. Man.
Oba come in and he basically, yeah, I like that. Now I think I like that better.
Cena is gonna be if they building this the way I think they building this, Cena is going to be the champ at Backlash.
Agreed. All right. Oh, at Backlash, not at Mania.
He's gonna, like I'm saying, he's gonna win 17. They have him build. They have Cena build on the posters for Backlash. Hey y'all! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Cena's winning 17.
Oh no, he's gonna do it. Oh no, he's gonna do that. I don't
want him to.
No, I agree. No, he needs to. He needs to.
You know.
Let me tell you why. Because Ric Flair wants this. He needs to.
Flair was acting like he didn't want it.
No. Ric Flair literally said at his retirement, he said, if anybody's gonna do it, it needs to be John Cena. He felt like John needed to do it, and I agree. That's kind of one of the reasons why this tour seemed to be coming up.
I want Flair to undercut Cody Rhodes at that Mania match, because Flair's gonna act like don't want Cena to win, and he come in.
But Flair, why we even need Flair? We don't need Flair. Let's just not even include.
He's there for his history. He's there for history.
he done wrestled. He wrestled his last match. You can't fight him back. You can't beat him up. You can't fight him back. That's what I'm saying. What would be the point of undercut?
He's there for the historic run. He want to pretend like he want to stop it. But he's going in to screw Cody.
My God, man. Now you're going too far, brother.
But come on, man. You already know he's finna do that.
I do.
The legacy of it, sir. He fought against Dusty. He despises Dusty. What would make everything better? Come on, man. You know this match ain't gonna be no one-on-one. None whatsoever.
Well, I figure somebody's gonna interfere. I just don't know who. That's my whole point. I know somebody's gonna do it. I just don't know.
Styling and profiling and whatnot.
I just don't know who, man. Who would it be?
And he should come out at the beginning of the match, like after they about to get started. He should come out. Oh, I'm telling you, he's gonna get a great ovation in Vegas, man.
Hold on 1 second.
He's gonna get the biggest ovation. No, they saying I want to see if he show up too. What's going on, Amanda? You coming in and it's overtime. I know we weren't trying to go to overtime, but it just happened that way.
Yeah. Hey, Amanda, what's up?
Look, I'm just gonna see what's happening.
And Sabrina's on too. Hey, Sabrina.
Look, because he used to beat up Cody Daddy. Yes, bring in Flair.
Come on, Stone Cold. Boy, get out of here.
He said Kalani beating Roxanne was a surprise. No, it ain't. It's not because Roxanne is on the main roster. That's right. Absolutely. Roxanne was there to help Kalani.
Absolutely. Push her up.
Title.
Yeah.
If anything, Roxanne gonna be fighting for that U.S. women's title.
That's right. I agree with that.
She ain't gonna have a problem.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree, brother.
If Bayley knock off Lila Valkyria for this Women's Intercontinental Championship, Lord have mercy. Have mercy to have mercy. See? But man, see, we didn't went through so much today.
I'm just saying, man, there's a lot going on. This Mania season now. We in it. We here.
Basically what we saying, we can't build WrestleMania, can't we?
At all. We don't know what the heck is going on right now. It's almost kind of like, and I like this suspense. Like, I like this. I love the fact of being able to have nothing but predictions. All we can do is predict because we don't know. We've been literally mismanaging these last few pay-per-view PLEs because we've been trying to figure out, well, what's going to happen? When is this going? The only thing we've been able to correctly predict is the coming back of Randy Orton.
Oh, come on, man.
But we knew that was going to happen.
We knew who he was going to get. We knew who he was going to get.
We didn't know when Jade was coming back. We had no idea what was going to happen. We knew she was coming. We just didn't know when. We kept trying to think there was going to be one time, and what else?
Time out. We got Kevin Owens with Randy Orton, right?
Yep.
You know who's missing from this fold, right?
Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn come out and he haluvas Randy Orton.
No. What is going on with you, Arlington? You need to stop drinking that water, son. I don't know what you got in St. Louis.
Listen. Baby, listen.
What?
Listen. Sir, you wouldn't expect it now, would you?
Heck no. Why would I?
That was the point. It keeps, because I think the end is near for Randy Orton, sir. Yes.
No, I'm cool with that. Because we got up and coming superstars Randy, that we need to give room for.
Pop-up power bomb, and he gets pinned thanks to Sami Zayn's haluva kick. Sir, that would be the best ending to that match.
I don't like it. Nope, don't like it. I do not like it.
If you ain't known me by now, sir,
I don't like it.
I live for the turn. I live for the turn. That's a turn that nobody would expect. Look at you, look, you know it, but you can see that Sammy's supposed to be coming out for Randy, but instead he's out there for his boy Kevin. No matter how much grief they give each other, he is there for his boy.
They still been best friends. Still been best friends.
Randy Orton ain't my friend. You sniped the Viper. Kevin Owens wins, boy, he loses.
Let me say this to you, Arlington Lane. I don't like the way your brain is working right now, sir. So therefore, I'm gonna be like LeBron James and take my talents to South Beach. I don't like that. I don't like it. I don't like the scenario of that. Although it makes a lot of sense, I don't like it because I think as much as KO done did to Sammy,
it ends the feud, man. It ends the feud. However the match goes, this is the feud is ending at Mania. It's over after this. No matter how it goes, sir, it's ending after Mania. It's not going to continue. Or maybe, sir.
Yeah,
listen,
thank you. Give me another one. Give me another scenario. Please, thank you.
Sammy is going in to go after Kevin. Go after Randy, and he gets Kevin instead. And Randy, RKOs get the pin. Because remember, there's still beef here. It's a psyche that's playing in Sammy's head.
I get that. Remember, he just tried to end the man. Snuck behind this dude's.
And that's why he's on television for now.
Right. That's my point. So why would you go after Randy? Randy had nothing to do with it. And then on top of that, KO was about to do what he was about to do to you while you laying there almost unconscious. And Randy comes out to come help. So why would that? Like, I'm trying to understand why that turn would happen. What would be that would have to be a reason.
All about Swerve. And I ain't talking about Strickland
either. I just got to figure out why that would make sense.
Jared says we still don't know what we're doing with what they're doing with the Wyatts.
Yes, we do.
Put them on ice. They put
them on ice. Right? They trying to develop a storyline that's going to include Alexa Bliss. Yes, we do.
That's why Alexa Bliss hasn't been on TV.
That's why she ain't been on exactly. So Alexa is going to be the new leader of the Wyatt, and that's gonna make Uncle Howdy be a background player as a main controller, so to speak. It's almost kind of like same thing.
They have to play it right because the way that it's been stated that Uncle Howdy has been the leader, taking over from his brother's style. And the thing was, honestly, Nikki Cross should have never been Sister Abigail. Sister Abigail is Alexa Bliss.
Absolutely.
Granted, Nikki can do the move. It was meant for Alexa to do it, though.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely. I think it just gives it's gonna make the storyline that much more interesting now. Right. Yeah, and to think about how all those times she's been working with him specifically to know the behind the scenes, some of the hidden things that they've been trying to do. I think it works out. I think it works out. Because we want to see the YC, but my problem was you got rid of two of the people that I really, really wanted to be there. The AOP. That's who you battled the Y6 with.
I'm glad you brought that up, sir.
You could have gave me Karrion Kross with the AOP, man, and I would have been good.
Speaking of Karrion Kross was at the wedding of Samantha and Ricochet.
Yeah.
A lot of them were there. A lot of the WWE wrestlers were superstars there. And they were having a good old time and whatnot. And it brought to my attention of two people that could be coming back to WWE.
Yeah, I saw you saw one of them.
Karrion Kross. And that person, it's rumored that Aleister Black is going to return to WWE.
Let's go.
It's a rumor.
I'm with that.
And they're saying they want him there. The Monday, the Raw after Mania, or that Friday fallout.
So who is this they've been advertising then? Now, have you ever been noticing the vignettes with the blackouts? And I've been saying it was Aleister Black, but
it's Aleister Black.
I hope it is.
I'm thinking it's Aleister Black. Why wouldn't it?
Oh my goodness! Oh my
Not
goodness!
To mention, hold on. Not to mention Penta's brother, Phoenix, has signed with WWE. Here's the other thing that folk ain't say. I sent it to you yesterday.
You did. I don't like that one.
Signs with WWE. I said, boy, they trying to mess up. They trying to kill Tony Khan's vision all the way down. Hey, they said Cody ain't there no more. The vision's dead. We're gonna kill your promotion.
Yeah. Eventually it's gonna happen. No, eventually it's gonna happen because you don't have enough to really build. I mean, and ironically, you still got Jeff Jarrett. I mean, not Jeff Jarrett, Jericho. You still got, Dean Ambrose with John Moxley, which I heard they was trying to really get him to come back. He's kind of been on. He's been on ice.
Man, it would be one hell of a reunion. One hell of a reunion, man. Listen, I'm telling you, when Roman sat there and said to Seth and cut that promo and he said, "We died." Why you keep saying we? We died. And Seth turned around and said, "I'm here because I'm cleaning up your messes."
You know who I would love to get from the AEW? Besides MJF, MJF was my guy, but now that he done been injured and all this other stuff, I kind of just, whatever.
I wouldn't even dare look at him again. Who?
Warlord. No.
Where would you place him?
NXT. Why wouldn't I?
See, here's the thing. I don't want them to do like they did Dominic. What's his last? He got that Russian last name. I can't think of it. I don't want them to do him like they did him. Crazy, but he faced off in NXT in the title run, and he didn't do nothing. He already built this persona already. Like he already has that persona. You don't have to get him to do nothing. Come in and just dominate. Kind of give him that and like I said, I was kind of looking for WWE has always had one or two types of people in the company. It's always got to be a dark side somewhere. That's there. It's always been that way. Dark line storyline. There was always a dark side storyline somewhere in the whole thing. And I'm trying to figure out the dark statement too.
So that would be Aleister Black, or we do whatever we are doing with the Wyatts with Alexa. It has to be something because we've always had that. You got to remember, we had Kane. They did that. They started off like that with Mankind. Did it with Undertaker. You done had the Brood. You done had Gangrel and all that. We done had them doing this dark side thing. We've been doing that, Nation, what was it? When the Undertaker had the faction.
Oh, you talking about the ministry
of darkness. We had this. It's been there. It's been there since the beginning. When we had Sid Vicious, they didn't really make him this dark, but they had him as Psycho Sid.
He was sinister.
Yeah, he was sinister. So. What's the big guy name that came in. He I want to say his name was it started with an L, but he came in. He was big, huge. He like they had him breaking out of jail, and he came in was like supposed to be this big monster that came in, and he did good for the first couple of weeks, and then it kind of just died out. It faded out. Dang it, what's that man's name?
Dang.
I can't think of that dude name. You know what I'm talking about? He was big, huge.
I know.
And they had him like he was breaking out of jail or like he had just got released from prison. They had did this whole vignette of him being locked up, and he was like this deranged animal kind of a thing. And then finally, when he came out, it was like destroying people. Like he was like this big, huge. But anyway, my point for saying that is we always had somebody dark. Right now, you don't have it. Undertaker was the last thing we had. Who else have we had? Who else have we had? We had the Wyatts. The Wyatts, Bray Wyatt was the most sinister darkness that we had with Alexa. He's not here. So we don't have one. We got to give it.
It's like when we had with Bray Wyatt, that's what, and that was
special.
I seriously thought that Bray Wyatt versus John Cena match 4 years ago was supposed to really end Cena. I really did, because the cinematic edition of that match was phenomenal. And I think, because Bray had beat Cena.
Yeah.
And that was supposed to kill Cena off.
Yeah.
But
that's my point. That's my point, dude. We ain't had nothing no sinister since then. So giving us Aleister Black and looking at what he did at AEW, I wouldn't even mind them going to get I was about to call that dude Buddy.
Oh, Rhea's husband?
Yeah. I wouldn't mind getting him or Brody, getting them both coming over with him and building the House of Black. If they do that,
it's gonna be a time where WCW gonna have to make a nice little comeback. And the only reason why I say that because if you're finna bring all these people in, you're gonna need another promotion. You'll need another show.
NXT. Stop making it a developmental.
NXT need to be WCW at this point.
That's my point. You got to change. If you said change the name. Give
World
it
Championship Wrestling is back.
Make it a different faction.
It would not be an April Fool's joke, because if you using, listen, see, look, you feel funny. If you are constantly using NXT or you using WCW stuff for NXT, why not just go ahead and transition into WCW?
We own it anyway.
WWE own it.
Not to mention that
you got to evolve. You got your partnership with TNA.
But that's my thing. And, it's been rumored that Vince McMahon is supposedly buying in TNA. Like he's about to buy them out.
Lord have mercy. I don't need this. I don't like
this. I'm just telling you what's been going on.
I'm gonna pull a Baileyism. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Hey man, I'm just a reporter. I'm just a reporter. I'm just saying that's been the rumor that Vincent Kennedy McMahon is trying to buy out TNA Wrestling. And if that's the case, look at what's about to happen. Because majority of the wrestlers in TNA came from WWE.
WWE. Hey, listen.
And there go your other faction. If you're gonna build
finds a gig in WWE fast, please get a job in WWE. Because guess who else came back? See, Mark Henry that came back to WWE, didn't he? Mm-hmm.
My point. They all jumping ship. It just makes sense, man. It just makes sense. This is the main ship right now. And you got to understand, WCW gave WWE a run for their money because of the talent, because of the story. They were starting to build storylines.
Yes.
The problem that they had with WCW is they did not. It's two things they did. They failed to do. They gave Hulk Hogan too much authority. That's number one. And number two, Eric Bischoff did not open that doggone door when WWE, when DX came and knocked them on them doors. They should have opened them doors and let them boys go at it. You think about the way that.
Listen, okay, this is what I'm gonna say to that. The way Vince still was sacred, even though he wasn't. And the one thing he could not do, even though he probably had almost gun in the head, you need to go ahead and pull that trigger, man. If you're gonna do these types of things, you might as well go ahead and do this. And he said no. I was like, that's the one thing I will to this day cannot believe he didn't do. Everything else, all the crazy stuff that he chose to do and stuff with WWE and WWF, and he decided to say no. No, he did it. He put it, and Bischoff said no.
Yeah, when Bischoff told him not to open that door, that was the worst decision.
I think it was Turner that said no. I think it was Ted Turner.
Nope. This was the Eric Bischoff decision because Eric Bischoff said he didn't want. They was in the middle of a live show and he didn't want to mess up what they were already working, what they were already doing. He didn't realize that the wrestlers on his brand were standing on the other side of that wall as DX is banging on that.
Oh, he said he didn't know?
He said he had no idea until one of the executive producers came back and told him DX is outside, WWE is outside. He tells the fellas, don't y'all open that door. We need to finish taping. That was the problem. Had he opened that door, DX would have went against that was the Big Show. You had Hulk Hogan, all of them. Because NWO was already split to Wolfpack and to the original NWO. So you think about all of them cats would have been it, and mind you, it's just freaking DX. So we would have killed both shows and helped both shows at the same time. Had they opened that door and DX got jumped by WCW. And word got to WWE. They right down the street from each other. These dudes rode a tank a block away, 2 blocks away, and got to WCW. You think about we would have been a mess. Bro, that would have been the best thing for wrestling. It would have been the best. If that door would have opened, would have been the best thing for wrestling because both brands. By this time, WCW was blowing up. They was killing them in the ratings. That DX piece,
it would have helped. It would have helped WWE.
That DX, what happened with DX opened the door for WWE to take over. Because from that point on, when WCW didn't open them doors, WWE had everything then. Mind you, WCW was predicting and telling what the ending of the taping was going to be. They was doing that already.
They went from live, then when they decided to go back to taping.
And that's when WWE, then the next week, if you notice, they started taping it live. They went live. They started going live. I was like, oh, this is dope. But think about it, man. The stadium was packed. They were sold out prior to Monday night. They were sold out. Tickets were out that next Monday. I was like, yo, it's about to be crazy. That Monday Night War was probably one of the better things that could have ever happened. Mind you, you got Triple H, you got Stone Cold, you got Undertaker, you got, like, these guys were down. DX was running rampant through everything and everybody. And it just made it, this what helped the Attitude Era. If it wasn't for Bischoff, and if he would have opened that door, I can't say WWE would have had the same momentum because they would have lost it had WCW opened that door. They would have lost that momentum.
And again, you mentioned the fact that Hogan had too much control.
He did. He did, but you got to think about it though. But you got to think about it. They were in a Monday night rivalry with WWE. They didn't start once that happened. Guess who they hired after that? Russo. You get Vince Russo in there, and Vince Russo, who's a WWE, used to be a WWE executive, goes to WCW, and his battle is with Eric Bischoff, and with Ted Turner sitting in the middle pulling string. Like, it was just stupid. It was the dumbest decision that could have ever been made, and it's what made the decline. So you had three people who had ego problems, or really four. You had Ted Turner, you had Vince Russo, you had Eric Bischoff, and Hulk Hogan. All of them had ego problems, and nobody backed off. That's where your problem came in at. So then, with that being said, that them not opening their doors caused their ratings to start going down. Goldberg lost, ratings started going down. Mind you, he had an undefeated streak. Let them tell it, right? He had this undefeated streak, killed the momentum for that. You then have Hulk Hogan doing the finger
poke
of doom, which killed that momentum. Like, so the Wolfpack and now NWO is now decreased. So now we done lost one part of the faction or the brand. Like, everything was just going down one thing after another. So after that moment, I think they just killed the whole. So if Vince gets TNA,
AEW's done. I'm sorry. And listen, AEW's finished.
That's all I got.
That's all I'm saying to that. Listen, 90. Let's see. You said 2001, in my opinion, is still the greatest year in wrestling. WWE for pro wrestling, because it was the ending of WCW, purchasing it, and then that whole year, if they would have really done that Joker correctly, WCW would have been on WWE soil, and we'd be going into its 25th year with WCW being owned by WWE. I'm talking about as a show.
Wait a minute. Oh no, that wasn't the same night.
What you mean? You talking about the night that Vince bought WCW?
Right.
He simulcast it.
Yeah, I know that. When did they get ECW though?
I think it was a month or two later.
Because I know he was like, "Oh, I own ECW." WCW. And Shane said, "No, I own it." Like he took over all of those particular.
When I say that moment in March of 2001, when he sat there at the beginning of Raw, and you saw him on TNT, and he sat there and said, "I have got my competition, bought my competition." He went on TNT. He went on TNT and said this. And we sitting there, I'm losing it.
I was shocked. I was like, "Oh my goodness!"
And see, that's a time where dirt sheets, when at the time the internet wasn't as deep as it is now. Can you imagine?
Oh yeah, it'd be crazy.
Came out in this era.
That's what I'm saying. I think this might be something to look into though. If he grabs TNA,
I mean, you do now. You have a whole week. You said WWE would have a whole week of wrestling. You are not lying. You are not lying. And imagine on them PLE days, he would have 6 days out of the week. And then Mania week, you got a full week.
Yeah, man. I'm just saying. That's what the rumor mill is, sir.
Sunday LFG. You got Monday night Raw, Tuesday night NXT, Wednesday night, what's that? Evolve. Thursday night TNA. Friday night SmackDown. Saturday, you know they would do some type of show on a Saturday. A whole week.
Bruh, I'm just saying. I don't know what this is gonna look like, but if Vincent Kennedy McMahon buys out TNA, man, I don't know.
Listen, I don't do this on this show often, but if you remember what the XFL did 2 years ago, when they started right after the Super Bowl, we literally got a year of football in 2023. It didn't matter what it was. NFL, XFL, USFL, college football, every single month, we got football. We got football for a whole year. Can you imagine 52 weeks out of the year, you getting wrestling every single day? Can you imagine?
Man. I mean, bro, I don't know what to tell you.
Insane. It's insane.
It's gonna be nuts. Believe me, it's gonna be nuts, bro.
I didn't realize we was going as long. Boy, we was going.
Oh, yo. Oh my goodness. What? Yeah, we gotta go.
We gotta go. We gotta
good
get
night.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, man.
You didn't even realize.
we got a lot. We got a lot, man. Tomorrow's gonna be the tail of the tape. And I think there's supposed to be a decision by Monday based on whether or not he's gonna get it or not.
Today is a doubleheader. I don't know what that means.
Oh yeah, the Lakers versus the Warriors. Yeah, let's go. Oh, I can't wait for that. Oh, I'm 1000% all in for that. As soon as Bible study's over, I'm gonna be in my office watching it. I ain't missing that game. Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Lakers and Warriors tonight. I know that. I know that's the only one game I know. I don't know what the other one is.
Tomorrow begins the Final Four, Friday, and the ladies side. All right,
yeah,
Saturday, and then Saturday with the men's. Okay, enjoy all that. We'll catch y'all
2 weeks away from Mania, baby. Let's go.
So long. We'll catch y'all next time on the show. Peace
and hair grease, baby.
I need some. All right,
I need some too. I'm gonna cut my head right now. This thing. What is going on? Okay, bye.